Hi everyone, just before we get into another episode of What a Load of Bulls, we just want to give a shout out to our partners, Newcastle Car and Truck Rental. Newcastle Car and Truck Rental are a locally owned company servicing Newcastle and the Hunter. Todd Holden and family pride themselves on being part of the local community, and you feel that when you step through their doors. It isn't a different person every time you call, it's the same people taking care of business and taking care of you. So next time you're in need of a rental, be it a truck to move, a ute for those everyday DIY jobs, or a car to get the family around on a day out, be sure to contact the team at Newcastle Car and Truck Rental by visiting www.newcastlerental.com or by calling 02 49 081 081. And don't forget to tell them DJ and Simon sent you. Welcome back, folks. What a Load of Bulls, episode 72. DJ here. Simon's alongside me, pretending he knows what he talks about. We've got no plan, but we'll make it work anyway. So let's get into it. We do have a special guest with us, but before we get to there, Simon, wouldn't be an intro without letting you have some sort of response. So off you go.
Well, that was very good, DJ. But how long did it take ChatGPT to come up with that intro?
Some of them weren't good enough. It took about 72 tries. But anyway, we got there. As long as I was having a go at you, I was happy. So,
yeah.
Mate. So, as we said, special guest waiting to chomping at the bit here to get going, actually. But before we do, mate, what have you been up to the last fortnight? Any bowls?
No, just a coaching session at the down the local, and it's getting pretty wintry out there. The old nights are dark, cold, wet, but still on the greens coaching, and for those hardcore bowls fanatics that are still out and about on those dark nights. But apart from that, that's probably about it. Busy with work. What about yourself?
Same old, mate. So this kids' holidays just over with, so had a bit of time with them. But they're back into the swing of things now. Anzac long weekend. Went down and watched the Mighty Maitland Pickers playing today. So that was a good one as well. But mate, I can see our guests. They're absolutely trying to jump through the screen to get started here. So I think we'll introduce him. So for those folks tuning in, we have got Dean Rudling with us. Now, he's not a household name, but he wants to be, and that's why he's joined the podcast. He's begged us for about a month to get him on here, to get his name recognised. So, Dean, here he is. He's a 28-year-old English fella. Apologies straight away. He's been playing this great game since he was 10 or 11. He's been a country rep since he was 15 or 16, which shows you just how easy it is to be a county rep, in England. He's only playing 4 or 5 years, and he made the county side. His biggest achievement of note was a national double rink under-25 title. And yes, and he's known now, folks, for the old Gallow Bulls Facebook page, which has led on to a few other things as well, which we will get into talk about with Dean. And for those that have been with us for a long time, I think it was back at episode 3 or 4, we talked about the good, the bad, and the ugly of social media. And all credit to Dean. He's certainly done the good part of it with the social media, with what he's done. So Dean, mate, welcome to the podcast.
Yes, hello. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, not a problem. Thanks for being here, and especially from, where are we? Cape Verde at the minute, aren't we?
Cape Verde at the minute, yeah. That's the one, yeah.
Nice for some, nice.
Hard life.
Social media for Bulls is obviously paying pretty well.
Yes.
Just fly to the west coast of Africa to have a podcast, so it's not too bad, mate. Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Dane, as we said in that brief intro, mate, you've been playing the game since you were 10 or 11. How'd you get into it?
Completely through family. So my granddad played, well, both grandparents played, my granddad and nanny, and then my parents both played, and I just sort of came on from that, really. So, yeah.
Yeah, nice. And you've been playing it for, you're 28 years of age now, so you've been playing it for, 10, 15 years now?
Oh, yeah, 17, 18 years, so.
Yeah. It's nice. So talk us through, mate, just what it's like in the county scene. Which county are you in at the minute?
Norfolk is where I play out of.
Norfolk. So talk us through what the scene's like in Norfolk in the indoor.
It's developing, which is good now. It's a vastly different game from what I can see compared to like Australia. We've got, especially in our club, we've got a great bunch of guys. The actual community through our club is great. We've got some pretty strong players in the county, to be fair. So it's sort of building nicely. Just want to see it move forwards a bit more would be nice. So, yeah.
Well, as you touched on there, I mean, it's a little bit different from the setup out here in Australia, but we are pretty blessed out here with the weather. We can play 12 months a year. There's indoors, there's outdoors, there's undercovers, there's everything here. It's pretty blessed. Back home in the UK, like me and Simon grew up with, you got to play a bit of indoor and a bit of outdoor. Now, you're one of those soft English players that doesn't actually like playing outdoor bowls because the greens are a little bit too heavy and it gets a bit windy and stuff. But you dabble in the outdoor a little bit, don't you? From a small club in Shipton, was that right?
That's the one. Yeah, I keep my hand in a little bit through the summer.
So what we were talking about the other day, Shipton's a small club of about 30 people. Talk us about what you did there last year, though, mate. A bit of fundraising.
Well, yeah, sort of last year, just that's when I was just sort of really wanted to kick on a little bit, to be fair. So I had a change of job, so I had a bit more sort of time in the evenings, and we just wanted to just give a bit back to them. They've been a sort of big place for me over the years, and we wanted to get a new kit, which obviously isn't always cheap. So we've done a lot of fundraising and managed to raise a lot of money. And got a full kit, so shorts, shirts, caps as well, club caps, and then we also managed to get full sponsorship for jackets as well. So it's very, very minimal cost to members, and it just transforms the club. There's still a lot of clubs in the UK that play in your whites and greys, especially around our area. So we've got now like a full navy and yellow kit, no white, and it looks great. So yeah.
Yeah, nice, happy days. Well, that's good, mate. Just to give you a bit of perspective too, obviously you had to raise that money so you could get uniforms. That amount of money that you're doing for a uniform is the cost of a Simon Little coaching fee that these Australian clubs just happily pay out. So it's a different level, mate. It is a different level. But it just shows you what you what you have to go through. I mean, like I'll give you an example from Maitland City where I'm at. Our members will play. What's our membership fee? Then $70, right? So about £35.
Yeah.
I give them a cap, a polo shirt, a pair of shorts, and a Bulls cloth.
Wow.
And then they can buy everything else at cost price after that.
Wow. Okay.
So it's pretty blessed over here with the setup. So we are. So just to give you a bit of a, like I said, bit of a comparison there. But mate, the main reason we've got you on, obviously, you have a love for the game. You're not a top English international, nothing like Sammy Tolchar, but you love the
very average player.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. Simon is too.
You're in good company with DJ, so yeah, well done, Dean.
But yeah, the main reason we got you on, mate, is obviously, like I said, dead set love for the game because it's the off-green stuff that you've done really, really well at. And it started off with a little bit of some viral videos from Gallow bullshit Facebook page. So talk us through, mate. How did you get involved in that? And then how did you come up with all the content? Because, like, to be honest with you, it's funny.
Yeah.
And you English aren't renowned for your sense of humor. So you've done very, very well. So, mate, talk us through how did you come up with it all? How did it start? And how did we get to this point now?
Well, I just thought if you can't be good on the green, you've got to try and do something off it, haven't you, really? So,
it's a podcast.
But I thought, I'll try and sort of, try and sort of build the stuff off the green. So, I had Mervyn King, one of the guys at Gallow, might know him over there.
That's a name drop, Simon.
Yeah, well, that's the first name drop.
Just sticking him in there. But he asked if anyone would be up for taking on like social media stuff for the club, and I said, "Oh, look, I've had experience with it with my former job, so I took it on." And I sort of did say, "Look, as long as I can do whatever I want with it." And if you look at most social media stuff especially in the UK over here, it's just this is a game we're playing, and it's just all very boring and formal and all that. And I just thought, look, let's just try and shake it up, have a bit of humour in there, use a lot of sort of memes and stuff off CapCut and different things, and just try and create my own content. I just sort of write stuff down as I go of what ideas I've got and just go with it, really. So, yeah.
Yeah, so it's basically just seeing what's popular out there at the minute through, like I said, all those memes and just rolling with it and comparing it to, like, a lot of it's hilarious, mate, because a lot of it is comparing to your experiences on the green, I'm assuming. Which we can all relate to.
We can all relate.
Yeah, so I'll just sort of scroll through CapCut and look at the like template videos and then think, oh, that could work well with this scenario in bowls, and then just stick it in a video and it sort of lands well most of the time. So yeah.
Yeah. Have you had any help with it, mate, or is it all just you? Is it all your experiences you're coming up with, or have you had others?
That is all me. I've had different people like message the page of ideas and stuff, which is always nice.
Yeah,
which they're getting on board with it and stuff like that. But the actual content and stuff is just, I've had a lot of experience with social media over the years, and it's just something I sort of done myself, really. So yeah.
No, it's pretty clever. It was interesting to hear you say that to me about how you just, looking at some of the social medias in the UK and trying to be different and trying to bring it forward. Simon, your old club had a bit of experience with that a couple of years ago, didn't they?
They did,
but it wasn't quite as positive of what Dean's experience is.
No. So my old club, Dean over in Ireland, they have quite a few young girls that are on the ladies' teams, and they wanted to promote the social side because they have a really good social side. They all meet together as a team and have meals together and that. So they wanted to promote that social side. So they done a few video clips of the ladies are arriving for an away game in the car together, having some banter together, arriving at the away venue. They done some little snippets, and I thought it was quite good. It showed more of the personal side of bowls and social side, which was really good. And they showed some clippets on the green of them just playing some bowls, and in the background, or sometimes there was some of the opposition was obviously in the footage. So they had a lot of pushback from ladies that didn't want to be recorded, didn't want to be filmed. So they were told to stop it, and were told they had to pull all the videos off Facebook.
Oh,
so
wow. Okay.
They're trying to promote the game to an audience, and they literally got told you got to take it off right now. So
that's
not a really good.
That.
That's like the old school mentality, really. Like, which we don't really want in a game.
Yeah, I did just see Bowls South Africa posted the other day as well on their page about they've banned the use of, like, I know it's slightly different, but they've banned the use of like AI around people on their sort of bowls content and stuff, which I thought, so it's definitely different. I mean, the problem with AI stuff, I suppose, is you can literally make anyone look like they're doing anything, and it's quite vast. But with just general content and real stuff, I mean, I can't see the problem with that. But
I mean, like for our generation, you don't have to be polite in this podcast, man. You can say what you want. But our generation definitely looks at those videos, and it is harmless, and it is promoting the game. But the older generation just thinks, no, get it off. But the AI one I can definitely understand. There's scary stuff that you can do with that. So obviously they've had some sort of an experience there where they've had to bring that in. Like, a lot of those rules don't come in until something's happened at the end of the day. But that particular one back with Portadown Bowling Club was, I remember when Simon brought it up, I'm just thinking, what are we doing? Like,
the problem is everyone who then wanted to sort of get involved in it will then just think, no, it's not worth it. And then there's no coverage. And then it's just, you've gone backwards.
Yep. It's like one step forward, 3 steps back, really, like, isn't it? Because then people are just detracted from doing anything positive, really. So if they're going to be shot down straight away without any consultation or anything, or, let's change it, or let's, adjust it or whatever, it's just not take it away, you're not doing it. So disappointing there. But I guess that's the bad side of it, really, that our, what does you say, demographics within our sport kind of tend to lead to that kind of outcome, really, I think, at times. And not necessarily just to do with social media, but going back to when you say about a lot of clubs over your way still in greys and whites, like that's a hot topic that I remember when we were kids, DJ, that we used to talk about getting rid of whites and getting rid of blazers and all that kind of stuff. So go back 20 odd years ago, that was something that was discussed, and trying to bring things in like that to change. And that's still goes on.
I don't know what you used in the parks. You just gave me flashbacks there, though, mate. But the PGL, we did. You remember the old, because we used to be sponsored by Bank of Ireland or Belfast Telegraph or something. And I don't know if they do it with you over in England there, Dino, but what they did was, you have your 4 bowls. You'd be given 2 sets, two red stickers and 2 blue stickers. And your red stickers were for your home games, and your blue stickers were for your away games.
No, we don't
you had to use those stickers. And then what they brought in, and it was all just plain whites, and then you had the old brown shoes and things like that there. And oh man, we are going back a long way now, Simon. But the introduction, I can't even speak. Introduction of colors for shirts was the away team wearing a blue polo. So every club had to go out and buy blue polos just to wear for the away games.
Right, okay.
And then, so they've gone and spent all that money on that. And then the next season, they've gone, all right, you can just have your own club colors. So they did. And that's when they finally got the colored stickers as well. So you got to wear your own club stickers and stuff. But I remember going back in the day. And then there was all drama, because when you got to like a PGL semi-final or something, there'd be a red team and a blue team. So you play on the Thursday night, you'd be all red because you've made the singles semi-final. Then you got to go play on the Saturday again and try and scrounge 2 blue stickers because you're playing an away game somewhere. But oh man, those are the good old days. So they were. But we have come a long way. We have come a long way. Mate, you talked about the social media there. You dabbled with it in your day job. So just to clarify, like, social media is not your. It's not that it's not your forte, but it's not your full-time job at the minute. What is it? What is it you actually do away from the green?
Yeah, well, I'm currently actually a ground worker, so that's what I do during the day. And then evenings and weekends, I pick up my sort of social media stuff is sort of when I do that.
So when you're when you say ground worker, you talking groundsman? You talking cutting grass? What's ground worker?
I'm talking like working on a digger, laying patios, all that kind of stuff on a construction site. So yeah.
Tradie.
Yeah.
Well,
tradie, there you go.
Yeah.
So they call it over here, Dean.
Yeah.
Tradie. Yeah.
No, I mean, I wouldn't know. I'm only an office worker anyway, and a bowler, so a part-time bowler. But so that, and like, that's when you stereotype the two different roles, they don't really go hand in hand, do they?
Not exactly, no.
Yeah, I don't picture a guy sitting on his iPhone or his iPad in a digger coming up with social media content. You know what I mean? So it just shows you, but if you've got any sort of interest in something and you go and you do the research for it, because have you got a degree or anything in marketing or a degree in social media, or have you got,
No,
it's literally just you playing around yourself. So it just shows for everyone that's tuning in, just go and have a look. Start off with Gallow Bowls. Have a look at all that, what Dean's come up with. And he's come up with this by himself just because he's got a passion for the game. So that's absolutely brilliant. But it has opened up a few other doors for you as well, hasn't it, mate? Because we've now got perfect line graphics. So talk us through how you came up with that, why you came up with that, and where are we at with it now?
Well, I sort of, through the Gallow stuff, I mean, it was growing and growing and growing. And then I had some inquiries from people saying, look, can you help me put some stuff together? And I thought, yeah, I don't mind. So I helped a few clubs create some pages and some content and stuff like that. And then I had a couple of businesses sort of contact me saying, yeah, what would you charge to do stuff for us? And I sort of thought, well, actually, the more I was helping, which was great, and I just want to, I do just want to see the game grow and everything like that. But it's just time. And I thought if I can just cover my time a little bit for this and do a bit like that, I'd sort of create something out of it, which has worked well so far. So yeah.
Take note of that, Simon.
Yeah. Okay.
It takes a lot of time to create this podcast.
Yeah. A lot of time to edit you as well. So yeah, like what you don't see. So
swings
yeah.
around about, swings around about. Well, maybe one week you should just let it flow and see what happens.
Okay.
All right, so mate, what clubs are you working with? What businesses are you working with that you can tell us about? And just for people to go and have a look at your content.
Yeah, so I've been doing, the first ones who got in touch was XX20 Sports, which are a Scottish-based company. They do a lot of clothing, do a lot of great sort of modern clothing, to be fair. Megan, who I believe plays out in Australia as well, she's sort of behind it and got in touch and wanted to know more. So I've started working with them. Aero Bowls and Aero Bowls UK, I'm doing their social media stuff as well. And I've got various clubs who have either sort of gained contact and working with. I also run Shipton's Page Outdoors, and you've got a few other clubs that I'm sort of doing bits for here and there at the minute as well. So yeah, different.
And the beauty of it is, because it all is remotely / in the cloud type of stuff, it's worldwide. So if anyone out here in Australia needed a bit of help and they think now Dean Rudling is the guru, they can just get in touch with you on Facebook. People try to tell me about the podcast to me, but I know I'm the guru. But no, but people can just get in touch with your Facebook through Gallow or through Perfect Line Graphics and see what you can do for them as well.
Yeah, I've had a couple of Canadian clubs reach out, Spanish club reach out. So I've had some different overseas stuff come through, which has been cool. So I can literally do it anywhere. So yeah, it's not a problem.
So you're up with Google Translate then if you're using the Spanish?
It's definitely. Definitely.
But you also got that connection, mate, with Windsor and Brisbane.
Yes, yeah. So we sort of, again, that was sort of random. We got a message saying, "Oh, like some of your content's being copied," and I was like, "Right, okay, fine." Not really too worried because it's just good to see out there. And then I looked into it and had a couple more messages come through saying this. I was like, "Right," and then I just messaged the page directly and said, "Look, I said it's not a problem with me. I said let's just do something together, and collaborate with it." So we started doing some sort of content from like Australia / UK stuff, and people seemed to like that, which was pretty cool as well.
Yeah, that's good. It's good to have that connection, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
And Windsor is up in Brisbane, so if they're looking for another player, just send them Simon Lill's way too. Be moving up there in the next 12 months.
On my way.
And if they sign him up as a member, they won't have to charge his extortionate coaching fees like we talked about earlier in the show as well. So they won't. But no, mate, like I said, you've certainly encaptured the good side of it. I mean, I was having a laugh again today. I've put it in the show notes as well, Simon. The some things you see on social media.
Yeah.
There's a particular Facebook group, Dean. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but I wish I wasn't at times. But it does give Simon a bit of content to bring to me. But just one of those things, like you've definitely got a real positive outlook. I love watching when the Gallow stuff pops up. I think it's absolutely hilarious. I've shared quite a few with our members as well. But when stuff pops up like, what do we do if the home side are playing music and we don't, and we as the away side don't want to listen to
wow.
music. How do we appeal that?
Oh wow. Okay. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how you even answer that one.
Yeah, so that's a bad part of social media because too many people have a say. I think at
Yeah,
times. It gives a lot of voices, but sometimes them voices don't need to be heard. Anyway, mate, what's your aspirations with it? Like, where do you want to see this going in 12 months, 18 months, 3, 4, 5 years?
Well, I'd love, like personally, I'd love my business stuff to go well and just have a good side piece. It will never be something that's sort of full time, but it's just nice to be able to tick over on the side. In terms of like social media stuff in general, I just love to see people take our page and just look at it, create their own stuff. I mean, it's amazing what a few social media posts can do to expose you around your local area for your local clubs. And it's just, if more clubs did that, it's free advertising. A lot of people, I mean, there's one guy locally to us who he messaged me asking for a bit of help. He's 70, 73, 74 years old, but he wanted to take on their social media stuff and he's doing a great job. And it's just showing you that anyone can do it. You just need a little bit of free time. As long as you use the right tools, it's just any club can be on social media. So if you can get all clubs on social media, just doing their bit, a few posts every week, putting the exposure out for their clubs, it all helps. So yeah.
Yeah, just a bit of positivity every now and again.
Just a bit of positivity and a bit of humour. I don't like all the, I mean, I don't like all the formal sort of boring posts. I do prefer to see a bit of a laugh and stuff like that as well. So yeah.
No, it's definitely good, man. It's good to see that it's been well received, and it's gone pretty viral. Like, we see it everywhere now. It's brilliant. Every page that we're on shares something when it pops up for you, mate. So it's a real feather in your cap. So well done to you, mate. And for folks, like I said, get in touch with Dean if you're interested in doing some social media. I think you can do a bit of help. By all means, he's just jumped into himself, but he seems to be doing pretty well out of it, and he'll happily give you some tips. But mate, while we've got you, righto, because you can ask us some questions as well, because like I said, this is a good chance for us to put you on the map. All right.
Yeah, nice.
We're already there. We're going to put you on the map too, mate. But yeah, see, mate, you're a decent enough player in your own right. Like we said, you're not double Dom, as I call him now, Dom McVitie. I have to give Dom a shout out around the greens, folk. Dom McVitie, he won the pairs the other week. He won the singles and the pairs now, is what he's done.
Yeah, insane.
Old double Dom. Just showing the selectors over there that maybe you could have considered him for the Commonwealth Games, because they picked it pretty early in the pace. And now old double Dom's come out there with the singles and the pairs win. So well done, Dom McVitie. Big fan of Dom McVitie. What a guy.
Yeah, great player.
Mate, what's the state of the game like through your eyes? Like, me and Simon have given plenty of opinions in our time over the podcast. I know you've listened to a few episodes at least. Where's the state of the game at?
Honestly, and from a UK perspective, like, I would watch the BPL over anything any day. And we tried to sort of, at Gallow, we tried to do our own tournament recently for it, like a similar sort of theme to that. We've got an organisation out here, Great British Bowls, who are trying to bring life and like more of a modern aspect to the game by introducing power plays and power play jacks and all that kind of stuff, which is great. We've still got a lot of, I'll call it traditional, like a lot of traditional sort of aspects of the game in this country. But I mean, I'm looking over at all the Aussie pages and stuff like that and seeing youth and seeing colour and seeing music and like, just, it looks like a really good social game. What's over here, it is so old school still. Like, no matter how much you might get a few clubs here and there who are pushing forwards, but there's still another 7 or 8 that are still, living in the traditional times, if you like. So I'd just love to see it move forward. I mean, I don't know what you guys in Australia look at UK bowls and think, but like, for us, it just looks so much more exciting than ours.
I think.
Well, that's what I was going to say to you. Like,
I'll jump in, DJ.
Simon's on the other side. No, Simon's on the other side of it. He likes looking back at the World Bowls Tour and Potters.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Simon. Jump in.
Look, before I get into the Potters debate again, but I think looking back to DJ and I, obviously growing up in the UK and bowls in Ireland, but moving over here and obviously seeing what is the other side of the coin in terms of bowls and everything around bowls as well over here. I think it's even the stereotype and perception of bowls in Australia. If you chat to someone that isn't a bowler, or you meet someone in the workplace or something, you say, oh yeah, I play long bowls. It's, oh yeah, really? Oh, I've played bowls. I've done it. It's not, oh, you play long bowls. Like, that's the kind of reaction you get in the UK where nobody's tried it, nobody's played it, they don't understand it, and they just think it's old granda's, 70 and 80-year-olds that are down chucking bowls on a green. I think that stereotype and perception is a lot different over here in Australia, and that's because of social bowls. And look, we've got the weather to do that, and a lot of people do play bowls on a social basis, and we'll have work functions and parties and things like that where they give it a go and they have a try, and they're able to have a few drinks on the green and give it a go. So whenever you do have that perception, that's a lot easier to convert people into members and also have a bit more positivity around the sport and have it promoted a bit better. So I think that's something for the UK that they need to get into, and clubs need to get into more social side of bowls and making a bit more fun atmosphere and trying to get more people in through the door. Not necessarily to play club competitions or play leagues or play competitive sport, just have a go and have a fun night, have a bit of a barbecue, a few drinks and throw some bowls down and have a bit of fun. I think that's what's missing from the UK, really, to try and change that stereotype. So yeah.
And that's not something that is hard to do, really.
No.
Trust me, like the grass isn't always greener. Like as Simon says, like we benefit a lot more out here. It's not as bad, the stereotype, but you still get come and have a game of bowls asked for old people, and that's coming from a 50-year-old.
Yeah.
We still do get that, trust me, from someone that's on the cold face and involved in all the time. You still do get that, and it is that still stereotype. But yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, we're just the greens are better because the climate's better. Like we can just play out 12 months of the year if we want to. It's absolutely phenomenal. But in terms of if you scale it down, a bowling club can still be a community hub in the UK, even though it's not open 24/7 like we can be, even though it's not, professionally run at times. Sometimes it's run by volunteers. It's still in the middle of a community. It's not too often that they're out, in the middle of nowhere, just by themselves, surrounded by acres and acres and acres. They're usually somewhere within a town or a village. So as Simon says, it's not that hard to go and put a few flyers out. Free barbecue down at the club. Come and have a roll and just try it out from that. And you can definitely see, looking back at some of the Facebook pages back at home, you can definitely see that Australian influence flowing in there now.
Yeah.
By just doing that social side of things and just trying to get people involved and just showing the benefits of the sport. Like it is, like we are biased because same as you, mate. Only we're about 10 years ahead, so 12 in Simon's instance. But it's all the same things for us. I mean, we picked the game up when we were 8, 9, 10. We're still playing now at 39 years of age. We love the sport. So we know the benefits of it. It's just trying to get it out there. Like the big thing about here in Australia too, and it's not capitalized on as well as it can. Don't get me wrong. Like I've spoke at length with Aaron Sheriff about this. So they used to, well, they still do it at times, but they pump the fact that the Australian Jackaroo squad for a long portion of time had a younger average age than the Australian cricket squad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now that's the pinnacle sport out here.
Yeah.
Cricket's the holy grail type of thing, Test match cricket. And the bowls team, which is perceived as an old person sport, had a younger average age than that. But it was only really advertised within the sport. You didn't see it publicized. Everyone within bowls was talking about it, but there was nobody in soccer talking about it. There's nobody in rugby league talking about it, rugby union, cricket even talking about it. So there's definitely certain things here that can be done a lot better to help the sport grow again. But it's good. It's interesting to say that you're. So what is it about BPL that's drawing you in?
Oh, it's just, well, first of all, the fact you can just watch it on Facebook and just the thing for me is like the highlight reels. They're short videos of like the good bowls that you can watch after, rather than watching I think it's attention span for a lot of people, isn't it? It's like if you're watching a whole length of a game, if you can just watch a 30-second video of some great bowls, brilliant. But the colour, the music, the lights, I mean, we don't have anything like that over here. So, yeah.
Just as you say, the snippets of BPL, you're 100% correct. And the snippets of BPL, it shows the balls arriving into the head. Highlights I've seen from Potters show a full clip of somebody standing on the mat, delivering a full bowl, going down the green. That is, like, to me, that's horrendous because you've lost
5,
me.
6 seconds. Yeah.
You've lost people already because you're watching somebody stand on a mat getting ready to deliver a ball. And I think exactly what you said, BPL does that really well and just takes 3, 4, 5 seconds of a clip and loads them all together. So it keeps you engaged. So I don't know, that's something for our listeners, anyone who's doing their social media or putting videos out there, the attention span of people nowadays, especially, like myself and DJ, it's only down to 3, 4, 5 seconds.
Don't drag me into this. Mr. ADHD over there. No, unfortunately, he's on the mark with this one, so it is. But like, it's just so because of the world we live in now. Everything's on your phone. Everything's at your fingertips.
Yeah.
People want things short, sharp, fast,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it is a good thing about the BPL is that they
Yeah.
bring that in, and then they've adapted that then to the BPL Cup, which is just for your general population like us, trying to play the game. You have that card at the end of it as well to play that format, and then go down and play for a national title as well. So they are bringing it along. It's still, I'm still big on not losing the whole. Like, there's a lot of things need to adapt. Like we talked earlier on about whites changing the colors, like that needs to change to get people interested. There's still certain things like your league games where you're playing club against club. Was the indoor 4-rink against 4-rink usually when you just go club against club, Dean? Or how does that work? Yeah. So ours is pennants, which is 3-rink versus 3-rink, club versus club. I've always said that's test match cricket. That still needs to be salvaged.
Yeah.
But to get people into that, you can't just bring them in and say, here, have a 3-hour roll up, now go play for 4 hours.
Yeah.
You got to drag them in. You got to drag them into the short, sharp, fun, fast game, get them interested in the sport. Show them that card at the end because that's where the prestige is. And then the people that want to go and do that will go and do that. But yeah, there's definitely, we are adapting and we still need to keep adapting to get more people in the sport with that short, sharp, faster versions like the BPL has drawn up. And like you said, the Great British Bowls was it was almost identical BPL format, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I sort of followed it a little bit.
Jason Parkinson, who I'm sure because he spent some time out in South Africa, and I'm sure he spoke to a lot of guys over in Australia just to get ideas and generate like the concept of it. And then obviously the idea of the shirts matching the matching each other for their sort of like brand, if you like, and then playing that sort of format. I think a lot of that was based on the sort of BPL with its own little tweaks, basically. So yeah,
but it was good because it would have been a lot of money go into that from the clubs as well to be able to participate in that, because I seen County Antrim sent the team over as well.
Yes,
Ali Coleman, all that came over in place. So that would have been money out of their pocket to go and do that.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that buy-in, and hopefully long may it continue and you can build on it. And, next thing we see a Great British BPL.
Yeah. Like, I think the concept's got to be, I mean, I've said to several people before, I love the idea of like I can't see it ever happening, but an England versus Australia team test match or like Ashes kind of format. You send 4 or 5 players over to Australia, play in a series type of event sort of thing, and then next year they come over here sort of thing. I think just stuff like that, difference is what you want. I heard in one of your previous podcasts, if you do the same thing over and again and expect a different result, it just isn't. That isn't how things happen, is it? So.
Well, mate, we're in a Commonwealth Games year. Okay, and high performance in our sport is night and day to where it was 20 years ago. Okay, so everyone's doing all the preparation that they need to do. We talked a couple of episodes about Gary Kelly. Gary flew 40 hours because of all that rubbish that's going on in the Middle East at the minute. Gary had to fly the American route to get home. Now that's a 40-hour trek to get there, to go and play in the home international series, and then go and play in a test match against England. He's then come back. He's then come back and finished the platinum pennant for his club Warilla. And now he's over there again. Are you aware there's a 4 Nations going on in Scotland at the minute?
No, I wasn't actually aware.
There you go. There you go. There's part of your problem, because those things that you're talking about, they do happen, but we don't know about them.
Yeah, that's very true. Right? That is very true.
4 nations between Northern Ireland, Scotland, Australia, and Malaysia.
Yeah.
Did you also know England are playing a test series against Wales at the minute?
No, not now. No, I didn't know.
So therein lies
a very
the
good
problem.
Point.
Therein lies the problem, doesn't it? Because these things are happening. High performance is there.
Yeah.
And I've gone on. I'm like, right, where can we follow this? Because again, we're spoiled out here. Bowls Link is pretty accessible for a lot of people. You can go and follow the scores there. But I'm looking at this, and Bowls Australia put a Facebook post out just before we came on to record this and said, for all those that are interested, just follow it at the end of each day and we'll give you a daily wrap. And I'm like, I don't want that. I want to look at the scores.
Yeah.
And then I went down a rabbit warren earlier on when I had a couple of hours, and I found out about the England and Welsh one.
Yeah.
And seeing that Sammy Tolchard had played 3 singles games in a day and he won the 3 of them. He played Rosso one and then another Welsh guy. I can't remember the name. It's terrible. It's good Bulls podcast, this one. But anyway, it is there. It is there, but you got to dive deep to go find it.
And people haven't got that, your general people haven't got the time or knowledge of how to get to that,
No. So the other thing that's bugging me too, Bowls Scotland, get your act together. You're hosting the Commonwealth Games this year. I've jumped onto their website hoping to see these teams, because the Irish Bowls Federation put theirs out on Facebook. right? I'm hoping to see the teams and who's playing who and what time they're going to be playing. There's nothing there. There's an advertisement that you can go and watch it at Glasgow Bowling Club for £2. Is £2 for a ticket again, or £35 for a corporate package where you get a hot roll, you get morning tea, you get 1-course lunch, and you get 3 drinks.
Wow.
There you go. That's an advertisement for both Scotland. All right. But they're trying to do the right thing. But that's what I'm saying. Like that, I read that in your message to me this morning about something to talk about. They do happen.
Yeah.
Where's the advertisement?
Yeah. That is very true. And not being funny, I'm someone who spends a lot of time on social media, and I haven't seen it.
Haven't seen anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's why I'm the guru. But yeah, it is. It was a real. I was getting frustrated with it today because that's for the top nations. I could find the Northern Irish team. They announced their Commonwealth Games team the other day. Scotland announced theirs like last week.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming Jason Banks and Paul Foster. There's Paul Foster and Alex Marshall's in the pairs, and Jason Banks is in the singles. Just to look at the men. So I'm assuming they're playing against Gary Kelly and Adam McKeown. All right, but what's the Malaysian team? And we know the Aussies are there. We know what the Aussie team is because we know what it is from out here. But where's the updated Google spreadsheet?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that's not hard to do. We've been doing that for the British Isles Bowls Council. Have been doing that for nearly 20 years. Like someone figured that out. That was great to sit and watch.
Yeah.
You know, so when the home international series is on, I'm good mates with Andy Duncan. I can sit there and watch him getting belted on the refresh button when I can't sleep in the middle of the night. You can keep up to date with that. So there's so many easy ways to do that, but then these big events that are on now in a Commonwealth Games year to get everyone interested.
And that's it, especially over here where youth is such. I mean, when I first got into the sport all those years ago, it was a case of you had a junior competition nearly every weekend. You go to a different place within your county. You'd be playing in a competition, whether it be a singles, pairs, or triples, against other under 18s, under 25s, or whatever. And you'd have a really good, more than anything, you'd have a really good day because you'd be meeting other people your age and all that. These days, there's nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing around our county in particular, which has got anything. I mean, when I was at Deer in my first club, I was the only junior for several years, which is then why I moved to Gallow. Gallow, we had 30-odd youngsters when I sort of first started. It was ridiculous. Well, it felt ridiculous because there was nothing like that. And then, again, gradually over time, it sort of dropped and dropped. We've probably got, well, in our under 30 side, we can probably scrape 6 together. So it's just how it's sort of dwindled and stuff. But as you say, Commonwealth Games year, I think curling's a great example. Curling was on, obviously, recently the Winter Olympics. You saw it everywhere. It was all over your social medias.
Yeah.
And at a fairly unknown sport, every 4 years when it's in, they go hard on it in socials. And, bowl should be doing the same. Commonwealth Games, yeah.
I thought one thing curling did really well, they talked about the rink and the ice and how you prepare all the background to the sport as well.
Yeah.
Not just here's some curling. We went into the background of it and how it's all created and made and where the stones are from. And I've seen so many videos around that stuff as well, the periphery stuff that gets people involved and want to look more about it. And that's something we should be doing in our sport.
Did you see the old fella that was spraying the water on the rinks in between?
Yeah.
He's the only guy that does that.
Yeah.
And he's been doing it for that many Olympics. Yeah. So he is the main man.
Wow.
So he's been doing that for Olympics upon Olympics upon Olympics, World Championships, European Championships. He's the one. He's got like a big water spray on his back. He's backing up and doing all this in the water just to get the little pebbles on the ice that they all rely on. Absolutely. Yeah, you're right, but it's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
But because their event was on the Olympics, on the pinnacle of ours is the Commonwealth Games, where's the advertising for it?
Yeah.
You know, and you can't just rely on World Bowls to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The associations need to grab it by the scruff of the neck too. Like Scotland have put this event on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shove it down my throat. Like honestly.
Yeah.
Who's playing who? What time are they playing? Where can I watch it? It's not that hard to live stream.
You know what?
And you're right with
and you've shown that too, because you live streamed at Gallow the other week, didn't you?
Well, yeah, sort of novice job, but yeah, that was it was
How
better
did
than
you do
nothing.
it? How did you do it?
Well, yeah, literally set up the page, went on live, click the button on the iPad, go. Yeah, that was.
You know, but at least you're trying to do something.
Yes,
We've got Alex Marshall, Paul Foster. We got Gary Kelly, Adam McKeown. We got Aaron Tees, Corey Wedlock, Aaron Wilson, who's back-to-back gold medalist.
Yeah.
And then you've got all the girls on top of that too. You've got the Malaysians coming out. I don't know if you heard the one. Like I went to Malaysia for the World Cup. Simon wasn't allowed to go. His wife's a bit stricter on him than what mine is. But one of the biggest thing I keep coming back to, and it's been repetitive, mate, but we arrived in Kuala Lumpur at about 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and we're getting a taxi into the middle of KL to stay in the hotel. And there's an electronic billboard advertising the World Cup and showing me all the bowlers.
Yeah.
So they know how to get behind
That's
it.
nuts. Yeah.
Do you think that
It was insane.
Do you reckon there's one of those going into Glasgow?
I'll let you know. Keep that for another episode. But yeah, like there's so many ways that are cost effective.
Yeah.
Easy enough to do just to get the sport out there. Like all the live
It doesn't have to
streaming
cost anything.
all the live streaming you see here in Australia, they're all using the PTZ cameras now. All right.
Yeah.
They've all invested in that. Everyone's doing it, right? But it started with OBS and iPhones.
Yeah.
With battery packs. And that's what 3 fixed cameras set up. And that's what it started with.
Yeah.
You know? So it's just so doable. And like I said, high performance is so far beyond where it used to be. This is what we need to be doing. You know what I mean? Like Aaron Wilson should be a figurehead for the sport. He should be the poster boy for the sport. Best since Brian. He's 2 back-to-back gold medalists. No one else done it in the men's game. Nobody else done it from Brian. A couple of women have done it, like Joe Edwards and Sydney Zelina. They've done it, but yeah, and it's just within the sport. It can be, but like we said, this is the criticism, I suppose, at this point. We're sitting here, 3 guys that are really interested in the game.
Yeah.
You know, we're doing our own podcast. You're doing all your own social media stuff now, and we can't go and find the stuff that we want to see.
Yeah, no, that is
so we need to help, don't we?
Point. Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's just a couple of things that can be improved on. I mean, what else do you see? Like my good friend there that you see on the screen loves potters with a passion. Sorry, he loves to hate potters with a passion.
That's right.
But it's that fine line, like I touched on, of the old prestige and cherishing what is good, but developing it for that younger generation, mate. So where do you sit on the fence with that one?
This is the thing, I think, because I think I'm right in saying they've brought back the under 25s this year, because they did scrap that for a year, didn't they? I believe.
I don't think they did, mate. They've gone to the Masters now for the last 2 years.
Yeah, I'm sure they're bringing back the under 25s. I'm sure they are. But that was a big, for straight away, that was a big loss, because if you're an under 25 and you got the chance to appear on at Potters, it's a great thing. I think a lot of Potters stuff is they are very much clinging on to traditional bowls.
Yeah.
Again, if I was to compare it to like the BPL, it's for me, I find it the fact that they it's the green bowls and the red bowls and the green shirts and the red shirts. I would just love to see a range of shirts, a range of bowls. I don't know whether they have to do that for TV purposes or you know what behind that, but it just needs to be more exciting to watch. I mean, I'm someone who's gone and watched it live just because I love seeing the standard of bowls, which is the thing that should be more pushed than anything. But I just feel like you'd get more out of the game by having life behind it, like music, like louder music, more. I mean, you go and sit in the stands at Potters and watch, and you hear more coughing than anything else, and it's dull to be in there. And I'm usually one of the youngest people in there when I go. As I said, you've got all your high profile players there. You see some unbelievable bowls. I mean, Paul Foster this year just gone was unbelievable. I just don't feel you get the most out of the game with a huge event like that. The facility is amazing, and you don't even have to watch the game in the actual arena. They've got TVs all around the resort, where you can just sit at the bar and watch it as well. So you've got all of that. But again, how much do people know that? And where Potters is located, it's very out there. If you want to travel from the left side of the country, it's a long way to come down for a day. There's a lot of things that need updating in terms of Potters. But
Simon was a big fan of the walk-ons this year.
Don't get me started on Potters. Really, I think I've covered quite a few things in a few episodes. But yeah, I agree with you, Dean. It needs updated. That's to be nice. Definitely needs updated, and for it to be the pinnacle of sport in the UK, for bowls, in the UK, that's the biggest platform we've got is Potters, really, to push bowls to non-bowlers. It doesn't do that for me, really. I can't see how a non-bowler is going to get keen and interested. It really appeals to the existing bowlers and those that have watched it year after year, and to get new eyes on it, it doesn't really do that. And you got to take from other sports and have a look at from we're sports people, but we not only love lawn bowls, but we love other sports as well. Why do we watch those other sports, and why are we keen on watching those? Like, I'll watch Live Golf because they've got a fantastic, par 3 that everyone chucks beer on the green whenever somebody plays a good shot. So it's getting outside of the box and thinking, what else can we do to make it a bit more appealing and get new eyes on it, really? And I guess going back to the social media stuff, that's kind of what you're doing as well. You're changing what's being promoted out there and adding humor into some things to get more eyes and get more people looking at our sport, which I think is great. Yeah, I think Potters, we've done that for enough episodes, so I'll stay a bit quiet and not rehash everything that I've said before.
No, well, I'll take a couple of minutes and just hammer the World Bowls Tour. What are they doing? Like, they're just doing the same thing over and over again. It's smaller now than what it was in the early 2000s. The portable rink was brought in to be portable, and we only see it at Potters. It doesn't move. It gets taken down it gets put up before the event, gets taken down after the event, and gets put into storage. So when they go and play the Scottish Open, they go up and play in the club. It's just they're not. I just question what the World Bowls Tour are doing. They're just running through the motions. Man. You cannot tell me any different.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm not trying to get you in trouble.
No,
but I'm on all honesty, mate. What are they doing to help the sport? It's the same sets play that they've always played. Fair enough. If that's a short, sharp, fast format that we need, that's fine. But it's not a world title. You're not going to tell me it's a world title. Alrighty. The World Outdoor Championships is the World Championships. All right. And now we've got a World Indoors, which is going to be played here in Australia in a couple of weeks' time. Again, it's still not a world title. Leamington Spa next year is your World Championships.
Yeah, that is the thing, and this is the thing I would say with Potters is when you see the World Bowls and people who are maybe a bit more like naive to it, it's like, the World Bowls and we've got all the best players over in Scotland and England and that, but it's not a true world title because there's such a different game from Australia to the UK, and it's not the true world event that it's sort of. Your people who maybe are a little bit less aware of it would think that it would be, sort of thing.
Now, look, I'm all for them having their Bowls Tour and doing what they want to do with it, because there is a chance to promote the sport there. But what are they doing? Like, really? Like, they're not. World Bowls is making more moves at the minute, and World Bowls over the last few years. And like we said, we don't know if it's because we're paying more attention because we got the relationships now. But I just think World Bowls is doing a lot more than what it did 4 or 5 years ago, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
World Bowls Tour is just going through the motions, mate. They are just going through the motions.
And this, like Great British Bowls, I honestly believe that they're something that can be really successful over here because they're bringing in. I mean, if you looked at the first event they ran, you had all your top bowlers, as you say. You had the people from County Antrim coming over. You had your top bowlers from the UK investing. It was decent money to enter into it. It wasn't just a case of it's a tenner per block. It was decent money to enter into it. People then invested themselves into getting shirts to match for the event. There was a lot of time and money put into it, but to me, watching it, it just looked great. I mean, you switch on your screen to watch it, and it was being streamed, which I always think is a massive bonus because more than anything, people love to watch live sport. So I think that's a great plus. And then you see, colour. You hear background clapping and applause and bit of shouting back and forth, and you just hear stuff. It's not just like a library kind of event where it's just all very quiet and hush. There's an atmosphere. And this is where I think the Great British Bowls and the tournaments and stuff they're running, I think if they work out successful, which I think they should, I think that'll be a really good thing to sort of, which is coming sort of towards more sort of the UK stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. It certainly looks like a step in the right direction, and long may it continue. Why stop when the sun goes down? With a MacMax canopy, the inbuilt lighting keeps the action going after dark. From serious club competitions to barefoot bowls with mates, or even a sneaky practice roll-up before the pennant finals. Roll up for a great night out. For bowls after dark, make it a MacMax. So mate, if we give you a chance to change a couple of things within the sport, like what would be your top 3 things that you would change to get more people into it or get more eyes on it?
Shorter games. I think the idea of getting, again, if I go back to younger people, the idea of getting a younger person to invest 3.5 hours, 4 hours of time into their weekend to play a game of bowls, it just isn't happening.
No.
I know it's a simple thing, but the power play rule I think is just such a cool thing. You could be out of the game, and one end you pick up a 4, doubles to 8, you're back in the game. I think that's a great plus. And I just think I'd love to see more streaming of more events around
Yeah.
the UK. Don't really care what kind of level it's at either, because you can see good bowls at whatever level. I mean, you can see we've got good bowlers in our club who aren't any more than county bowlers, but you can see good bowls at any level. And I think if you had the chance to relive bowls that have happened over and over again, I think that's just a great thing to be able to, help the sport really.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Simon, you want to add anything to that?
No, I think that's a really good point, actually, that it doesn't have to be, international level to see really good bowls. And I think that's maybe something that a few clubs over here are sort of trying to tap into, the bigger clubs, that they will live stream their club championships, or I've seen a bit more of that going on. And I think that's great. Like, absolutely gets more eyes. And as you say, Dean, it doesn't have to be your top international bowlers that will play good bowls. We've got some really good club bowlers, and yeah, more of that. Bring it on.
Yeah, and there's the platforms there to do it. Dane, I'll throw this at you because you obviously English, and we don't hold that against you. All right, but
thank you.
playing bowls in England, mate. Are you? I found another thing today. This one on LinkedIn. Are you familiar with? Are you aware of where bowls ranks in England in terms of sports by the total number of clubs?
No, I wouldn't have a clue.
Third. There you
Really?
go. Say, I've just knocked him off his chair, folks.
Yeah.
Bowls is the third biggest sport in England. It's got 5,400 clubs across the country and over 300,000 people playing it.
Yeah, and that's it doesn't feel like that.
Does it? But the platform's there, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just getting it out there, and like I said, shoving it down people's throats. How affordable it is, how health benefits, physical and mental, it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is a really niche and unique sport that is for everybody.
Yeah.
So there is a platform there to do it. So it's just grabbing it by the scruff of the neck, isn't it? Really, mate.
And this comes back to the local aspect, because the Gallow page is great in terms of. I mean, we've had members join because of our page, which is a great thing, but we're only one area of the country. If you had another area of the country who are doing a similar sort of thing, they'll get people from their local sort of area who are then, how do I join the club? It needs to be done on a wider scale, because, as you say, if that sort of stat, it's like if every club was doing their little bit, and it doesn't have to be much, and you draw another 1 or 2 people into the sport, could lead to 3 or 4. The big thing is investment as well, and if you have a social presence, I think sponsorship is a lot easier to obtain. It's just about more clubs doing a wider sort of thing, basically.
I actually literally knocked him over there, Simon.
He did. He actually fell over there.
Actually fell over, folks. I wish we were recording that. Anyway, mate, I've screenshot that and sent it to you on WhatsApp for you to have a look at. But, mate, like I said, we're doing a bit of a collab with this. We're going to get this out and around Australia, promote Gallow Bowls. You're going to share it over in the UK there, get the podcast out there, and the Bowls Academy for us. So, mate, let's flip the script here now. You pick our brains. Is there anything particular from the outside looking in? Bowls in general, really, because we've got the experience. We grew up playing in Northern Ireland. We've played in the UK quite a bit. Now we've been out here. Simon and I have been out here 15 odd years, maybe slightly more for in Australia, mate. What is there anything you want to know and pick our brains about in the bowls world about?
So how is, because one of the hardest things over here is getting youth into the sport. So in Australia, how do you typically get youth coming into the game?
Schools programs.
What in
schools
terms
program? Yeah, a lot of the schools have it built into their curriculum, and they contact the local clubs and they come down and play in it. And then it's picking it's not easy. Don't get me wrong, mate. It's like my clubs definitely struggle with it, and we've had a lot of kids come through, but it's just trying to get them interested in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then you just manage to pick up a handful of those that show a bit of interest in it, and get them, and then it's getting the right personalities around them to support them through and get through like that there. So yeah, but there is you get a lot of schools bowls. Like there's a fella up near my way, Warren, who does he calls it Let's Play Bowls. And he started it with the primary schools and it's built up to the high schools and bowls in New South Wales, and now jumping on with it as well and helping out too and promoting it to a statewide event. So there is junior programs that are involved in it. But a lot of it too, like if you go back and listen to a lot of our player interviews from guys out here, Even one fella from New Zealand, it's a bit boring, that one, but you can go back and listen to it, Ali Forsyth. It's all the same, mate. Like we got into it because our family was into it.
Yeah.
So it's and the sport will survive off that.
Yeah.
But we still gotta expand it a bit more and get more people in it. My thing is, and a lot of people are starting to think the same way out here now around it, or we're all starting to con on to it, is that the junior bowler should really be the guys that are sort of mine and Simon's age that have stopped playing representative rugby league, rugby union, cricket at a high level.
Contact sports.
Have played at those high level sports, can't really do it now into their, like me, mid-30s and Simon, early 40s. But they still want that competitive edge. We can offer that in our sport. So it's just getting that out there. And we tried that. It would be 7 or 8 years ago we tried that. So obviously clubs are huge out here in Australia. I mean, it's just the social aspect of it. It's the what's the word?
It's more than just a bowls club over there, isn't it?
Yeah, we're community hubs, So so at the time I think we had like a database of 9,000 members.
Wow.
All right. Yeah. So we tapped into that and went, right, we want all our members between the age of 31 and 41.
Yeah.
And we're going to send them a letter. Right. And that letter is going to offer them free bowls coaching. If you take up the sport, you'll get half price membership plus money over the bar. We'll give you discounted shoes, bag, bowls, right, to get into it.
Yeah.
And it's a cost effective sport anyway, compared to golf and all that there, So we sent that letter. That letter went to probably about 500-600 people. And I got 2 replies. One of them used to be a bowler and I just gave up and was now thinking of coming back again because we were offering them half price stuff.
Mm.
And the other one was probably someone now that qualifies in the power category.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was just too hard for them to get into, but that's all we got back. So, but then to our own fault, probably we gave up and then didn't start hammering that door down.
Mm.
But it's just having those connections. Like if you think about that, if we can build up to that, because the CEO of Bowls New South Wales, Tim, did a roadshow about 12 months ago, and he told a few people, like, at the end of the day, there's a lot of money gets spent on juniors and things together to try and get them into the sport.
Yeah.
But if you fish in the pond that you're in, if the demographic is at 55 to 65, get them into the sport and build the numbers that way too, and then let it flow down.
Yeah.
Is another way to look at it. But yeah, to go back to you, because that was a roundabout one, but to go back to you, mate, yeah, definitely having the ability to get the schools in is one thing, and the actual curriculum supporting that.
Another thing that I sort of find or wanted to ask as well is coaching. In terms of coaching in the UK, because of the funds and all of that sort of stuff in the UK, don't get me wrong, it's great having volunteers who give up their time to become qualified coaches and stuff, but in the UK it's very rare to have good bowlers as coaches for your club. And in my opinion, I'm not saying you have to be the best bowler in the world, but you need a decent level of bowlers to be able to coach other bowlers. And because of there's a lot of reasons, but finances, there's no incentive there for people to, want to become coaches. I find it, I don't know what it's like in Australia in terms of the coaching aspect, because as I said, you can go to our local club, you can get a session with a volunteer. They know bowls, they know what it is. They can probably teach you an all right delivery, but it's always, in my opinion, better being coached by someone who's been a little bit better. They've done a bit more in the sport. They've got a bit more of a foundation. They're maybe not, 60, 78 years old, but there's no incentive for that in the UK. So I didn't know what coaching was like over in Australia as well.
Well, I'll let Simon have this one because he is the designated coach out of the two of us. He loves it. But you're not wrong at all, because that's what I said. Like a lot of people, there's a lot here. Even my grade 6 and 7 players are so into drills because it's the culture. Whereas I can't do it, because when I grew up, my first coaching lesson was, right, the mat goes here.
Yes.
You hold the ball this way. Yeah. And you roll it down that into that little jack and you work it out from there. And that was with my dad.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, did pretty well out of it. But in terms of actually like coaching drills and stuff, the only drill I would have ever remembered is what they classify, Simon, the caterpillar drill.
Yeah.
Which is where, like, because obviously the transition from indoor to outdoor at home. My first two goes on a bowling green on outdoor would be no jack, put the mat down, throw the first ball down and try and get the next 3 with it, because the rhythm's so different.
Yes, yeah.
Only thing I would have done, and everything around that was just drawn to a jack, and then the odd time going, right, my third ball, I want to get it to that position so I can have a run. and that'll be my practicing. But yeah, I'll pass over to Simon because they are right into the drills out here, and I think a lot of that is because high performance hit here so early compared to the rest of the nations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look, I think as you say, Dean, over here there's still that level of just a club coach who maybe has been doing it the last 10, 15, 20 years and will introduce new bowlers if there's someone new who walks in through the door, they'll show them how to hold the bowl, how to deliver, the basic rules of, and you will find those at nearly every club. There'll be a volunteer, there'll be somebody that has that. But even out here, where we have the vast amount of clubs and people that play our sport, there isn't that unless you're in a big city, and if you're in a club in Sydney or you're up in Brisbane and you've got that high quality class of players at your club, or what they'd say a big city club, where you're going to have somebody who's played at state level, representative level, and they can actually feed that down to their members. The vast majority of sort of clubs outside of that don't have that access to high quality coaching as well. And that's what I'm seeing with the Bowls Academy, that a lot of people and clubs are reaching out to me going, can you come to us? Can you do a session with us? And they might be 3-4 hours from Sydney, like totally way out in the country, because they don't have that access from guys that have played at a top level. So that is still the same over here as what you have over there. I think maybe there is just maybe that because there's more people playing it over here, you do have sort of a few more coaches floating in and around, and especially if you're in around the city, it's easy for somebody to travel half hour, 45 minutes to go to a big club and get coaching, or reach out to somebody and go, how much do you charge for a coaching session? There's a lot of players out there will do some coaching and make some money off it. It's not going to give them a full-time wage, but there's a lot of people out there that will put their hand up and go, I'll do some coaching for you, come and help you out, and people will reach out for that. That's definitely something that happens, which I don't know if that obviously doesn't happen in the UK really, because maybe people aren't putting their hand up for it, or maybe not expecting that there's a need for it. But look, in terms of coaching, I think there needs to be a bit more structure, I think, globally, not just within each country, that there's a bit more structure to coaching qualifications, things like that.
Coaching education was what I was going to touch on, Simon, is where it comes down to.
And having that level of, okay, if you're a coach level 1 or you're coach level 2, if you're coach level 1 in England, is that the same as a coach level 1 in Australia? Who knows? Because each country does their own thing.
Yeah.
So having that as a sport globally, like a minimum standard of, okay, coach level 1 is an introductory coach to new bowlers. Coach level 2 is a bit more high performance, regional level kind of stuff. And then your coach level 3 is your international and all that kind of thing. So I think that's maybe something that needs to be looked at within our sport, and hopefully, that maybe comes into play at some stage. But definitely from what I see in terms of the Bowls Academy and what we do, I get a lot of people globally around the world that are reaching out for resources, content, anything to help them improve. And that just shows that it's not out there in our game and it's not on the ground. So even though you might think from England that Australia is the place to be, we still have our shortcomings and our shortfalls as well. Like there is those gaps that need to be filled in terms of content and things like that.
Sam is right. Like if you think of who the elite players are, it's such a minority compared to the actual population of the sport. So I'll use Simon as an example. Simon's coaching at a club called Caringbah. I'm sure if they had their choice, their head coach would be Alex Marshall, Aaron Wilson, Ben Twist, Gary Kelly, people like that. Instead, they've got Simon Little. But Simon's got the coach qualifications behind it, so you're probably going to get as good a quality as coaching as that. But you can't have access to the elite players all the time. There's not enough of them to go around all the clubs. By all means, growing up, I had some very, very good people around me that were able to pass on wisdom, but I'd love to have rocked up every afternoon. Jeremy Henry and McClure would have been the ones there rolling up and giving you a bit. You know what I mean? So it's just not always that accessible. It comes down to the coaching education part. So yeah, as Simon says, probably something that's maybe a bit lacking for a consistency basis across every nation. So let's hope that something comes of that one day.
Another question I suppose I have is how has this platform that you've obviously created, how's that been received overall? Because for me, I find bowls and I'm very much the same, very carefully spoken, and commentary you hear of stuff is very careful and delicate and stuff. But I feel you guys just speak honestly, and I think that's something that, again, compare it to other sports. You got football, like people like Roy Keane, people like that who are maybe like not controversial, but people who talk about different subjects honestly and openly. I think our sport needs that, because you have a lot of people saying, I don't like this, but then don't express it on a bigger platform. And I think it's really important, because it's not just putting people and companies down. It's just being honest and trying to improve the game overall. Is how I see it. But how have you guys found that it's sort of been received, I suppose?
Well, I'm pretty humble and modest about it all. Simon sees us as genuine superstars, and he's capitalized on that with his coaching and that. Like I said, the fees he's charging Carambar, mate, unbelievable. You'd be able to buy a home and away uniform and maybe even a third kit for your outdoor club. But no, in all seriousness, mate, it's probably one thing that, I suppose, one bit of feedback that we do get, especially in the early days, and Simon will back this up, we're not saying anything different to what people are talking about around the tables in the pub, right? But my big thing is, from on a personal level and from my love of the sport and passion of the sport, is I'm not one to sit there and just go, that's wrong. That's wrong. This is why. This is what I would do to fix it. Because it's so easy on certain Lawn Bowls Australia Facebook page to just come in there and hammer somebody and just drop something in there and just say something and then leave it, and you watch all the Karens and the Daves or whatever come on, and whatever we call them. Was it Keith? Or I can't remember what we called the male version.
The equivalent of Karen, I can't remember.
Just to come on and just hammer stuff with no real, like, in all honesty, mate, if the aliens came down and read some stuff on that page, they're not taking our sport away with them, because I worry about the common sense at times.
Yeah,
but it's also the first time I've ever heard someone compare Simon Little to Roy Keane, by the way, too. So just to double back on that. But you know what I'm saying? So that's one aim that we had from the start. Like, Simon's pushed with this Bowls Academy for a long, long time. Me and him's been mates for a long, long time. We live 2.5 hours apart. We don't see each other that often. We've only done one episode out of 72 now we've been recording together. And Simon just called into the club one day on the way back from work, says, "Man, I'm looking away for promoting it." I'd been sitting in the back of my head going, there's no Bowls podcast out there. I reckon we could have a crack at this. We floated with the idea. 3 or 4 months later, we went and got the equipment. 2 or 3 months later, we've got to start it now. It's now or never. Here we are 2 years later, 72 episodes, talking to some nobody from England. And
it's gone downhill, isn't it? It's gone bad.
Yeah. No, but like I said, man, we're doing this for you. We're letting you piggyback on the back of us. Simon's piggybacked on me for 2 years. It's nice to have a fresh face. But that's what it's about. I mean, like, we don't want to, like, I've put my hand up for a lot of different hats and a lot of different roles. I mean, match committees, regional committees. I'm on the board of Bowls New South Wales now. And I don't do that for something to do, because I don't have the time.
Yeah.
But I do that because I want to make a difference.
Yes.
And that is why, yes, can be opinionated. And it's easy to talk about yourself like that there, but I think there's evidence there over 71 previous episodes to back this up. That I'm happy to give my opinion there and share it and give solutions, or what I perceive as solutions. Like, we just did it there with that Four Nations. That's all we talked about earlier in the episode. Where is it? This is what you need to do. Why aren't you doing it? You know what I mean? So I'm happy to share that. And Simon is too, when he gets a word in.
Yeah. I think it's definitely for the love of the sport. Like, both DJ and I, it's gave us a lot. It's given us a life out here in Australia. So
absolutely,
I think just trying to have honest conversations and open up that if we can have John down at the local bowls club go, DJ and Simon were talking about this, and all of a sudden it sparks up conversation around a club that we could, hang on, they were talking about maybe we could do this and try this at our club, and maybe it's something, if that sparks that debate and gets somebody moving on something, then great, we've done our job, and that's what we want. We want to put good, honest conversations out there. We want to put good content out there. We want to help people and help clubs to survive and keep going, and get more people into our sport, because we love it. We know what it can bring. We know the benefits of it, and we want that to be out there for more people to enjoy and get more people into our sport. So I think that's ultimately why we do it, and why we keep doing it. Hopefully, keep going, keep more episodes, and keep doing it.
And if we can hold a few people accountable that are high up in the sport in the meantime, then why not? We're key stakeholders in the sport by just being members and playing it. So if we can hold people accountable and get people thinking on those chain of thoughts, and why not? And like I said, it's opened up massive doors for me and Simon. Like some of the stuff we spoke about off air with you there, like things that have opened up for us that we could not have dreamed of. The fact that we're just at the start. It was just like, who can we talk to? Gee, can we talk to Neil Dalrymple? Simon flicks Neil an email. Neil replies straight away, and here we are with a relationship with Neil Dalrymple and Brett O'Reilly in charge of World Bowls.
Yeah.
It's been phenomenal. We got to the World Series finals together down in Barham. I was able to go to Kuala Lumpur. It's just a fantastic, absolute. We couldn't have dreamed how well it could have gone, mate. So and as we says, we'll piggyback off you now, and we'll get launched in the UK, and it'll be even bigger. So, but and that's why I was pretty keen to get you on, mate. Like, it's easy to go and get the genuine superstars of the game. Like, I've had Aaron Sheriff on 2 or 3 times now, and had a chat, and it's easy to go get them and have a chat, and that's what people want to hear about. But watching your stuff and what you're doing with your social media really struck a chord with me, because it's what me and Simon's trying to do.
Yeah,
with this thing.
This is what I felt, and after hearing a lot of your stuff as well, I think we're all kind of like, it's everything we're doing is relatable. So a lot of what you speak about is relatable. A lot of the humoury videos is stuff that's relatable to the game, and I think that's quite important. I mean, I like to use myself as an example of someone who isn't really a lot in the sport can do quite a bit, and you don't have to do a lot to do that. And if a lot of people had that same sort of attitude, you could make huge leaps in the game. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. As much as I've liked to G you up, I do that a lot. Don't feel offended. Don't feel offended. And definitely don't feel special. Simon's sitting there actually just wiping the sweat off his brow, thinking how good this I've been left alone this week. But no, man, it has been really good having you on. It's been good, just seeing where you've come from with the social media stuff. As you said, mate, there's 3 guys here that play bowls. We're not that good at it. We're not going to be playing in the Commonwealth Games later on or the World Championships next year, but we can make a difference in our sport and get more people into our sport because we've got a passion and a love for it. Yeah. So it was just great for that reason to get you on, talk about that, showcase that, get that out to the masses, and let's just see where we can take this relationship as well, mate. So it's been really good having you on, mate. It's been a breath of fresh air. Like I said, I'm not going to hold it against you that you're English. It would have been nice if you were Scottish or something like that there, but we'll cop it. We'll cop it on the chin for this time, mate. But no, honestly, mate, please keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Yes, we'll do.
Shove it down the throat of Lawn Bowls Australia Facebook page and see if we can get some positivity in there. We'll back you.
Yeah.
Alrighty. But no, mate, on a serious note, it's been refreshing to sit here and talk to you. Hopefully everyone else sees that as well, and hopefully people will jump on, have a look at Perfect Line Graphics, look up for Dean Rudling and Gallow Bowls, and just get in touch. Dean has been very open and honest with us about how he does things, and he's willing to help out where he can as well. So feel free to reach out. We need more people like this in the game to help the game and to help the clubs. So mate, keep doing what you're doing. We're very glad to have you on the podcast.
No, thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure being on. So thank you guys very much.
Absolutely. And safe trip home from your holiday house there in Cape Verde, mate, because social media is paying an absolute fortune at the minute.
Thank you. I'll start getting on the beers.
Yeah. Good on you, mate. Safe trip home. And mate, we will keep in touch a lot. So we will. So thanks for coming on, Dino.
Yep.
No, take care.
Well, folks, that was Dean Rudling. As we've mentioned quite a few times there, jump on Gallow Bowls Facebook page, start there, work your way up to Perfect Line Graphics, have a chat with Dean. That was a breath of fresh air, mate. I really enjoyed that one. Hopefully everyone gets that, a little bit of a different direction to what we normally do with interviews. But it's just good to get somebody with the same passion for the sport as what we do. He's not doing it the same way we are with a podcast. He's doing it with social media content and just promoting people out there, and it's been really, really good to see, and it was really, really good to sit down and talk to him as well, folks. So hopefully he's enjoyed that one, like and share that one around. It was a pretty good episode, so we'll just leave it there. We'll come back probably in 2 weeks' time with a few round the green things. We touched on one there. I'm going to give him another shout out. Double Dom McVitie. What a guy. Singles and pairs champion for England. What a guy. Well done, Dom. So hopefully we'll see him out in Australia again sometime soon. But yeah, folks, as always, hope you enjoyed that one. We certainly enjoyed having Dean on. So as always, keep that little disc on the inside.
And good luck on those greens. The views, information, or opinions expressed during What a Load of Bulls podcast episodes are solely those of the individuals involved and do not represent those of any group, organization, or employer associated or affiliated to individuals. This podcast is for general information purposes only to educate and inform. This podcast does not constitute professional advice or services. What a Load of Balls does not guarantee the accuracy or reliability of any opinions expressed or statements made within episodes.